Yeah, we're being shaken. I think the believers, right, or the church right now, whatever you want to broadly, if I call the church, what I mean is true believers plus others that are attached to it but are not true believers. That whole thing is being shaken right now. Maybe, perhaps in our day and age, more consistently and intensely than ever in history. And what's happening is, as people who are true believers are feeling this shaking, and they're having to sort. Again, it's not cherry picking. It's like, man, I really need to get my priorities in order for my own household. I really need to get my priorities in order when it comes to putting God first in everything. I have to make it a prime central to my life to understand what Yeshua meant by the greatest commandments: love God, right, with all your heart, all your soul, your strength, and love my neighbor as myself. And that all the commandments are contingent upon these. I got to get that. I got to know what I mean when I'm talking about that. I need to build my house on rock. I need to make sure, because the shaking is getting, and it's, in my view, in my opinion, it's only going to get more intense. And the question is, whose houses are going to stay built on the rock, and who have lovely mansions and all these things now, but they're going to just collapse like a house of cards, or collapse as the sand moves from underneath them. And so right now we're in a time that one of those prioritizations is, who do you trust? And this is, I kind of see what Brittany's going through now. It's like we're shaking her. She's feeling shaken with respect to Bible translations, and that's okay. That's actually, I think that's a good thing. Because she's going to say, wow, I want to build on rock. And if this translation says X, but another translation says Y, and they both can't be right, I've got a faith dilemma. It's like, well, I could just say, well, I'll just put a plaster over that and pretend I don't know. Well, that's a temporary solution. Yeshua says the wise person builds their house on rock. So we want to build our house on rock. And I take that as our each individual hermeneutic for understanding the Word of God, hearing how it applies to us, knowing our place within covenantal history, honoring and respecting our dependency on the majesty of and just unspeakable glory of Yeshua and what he's done for us. And taking it seriously. The time for kiddie pool Bible is over. Kiddie pool Bible studies among adults is over. The Strong's Concordance word studies, that's over. That was in the 80s and 90s, maybe. It's over. So, and I don't think there's going to be one English translation that fits. I don't believe it. But God allows it because he wants us to search out matters. He wants us to search out the matter on any one of these fronts. And this shaking, just one last point, the shaking forces us, while it's confronting us with these differences, confronting us to say, where do I go between these two English translations? Which one do I choose, and why? And why do I believe this one over the other one? It forces you to learn a whole new vocabulary of theological understanding, right? You have to have a grammar of why, of the whole Bible worldview, from which you, if you believe the canon is one voice, that is, and I believe it's one voice, it also, we have to prioritize our relationships. There's people that you can trust in your life, and there's people that maybe you've trusted and you realize, wow, I can't trust. That's another place where you have to sort. And this is happening. It's just like Caleb describes a guy who's going to a Sunday church. He loves the people there. It feels he trusts his kids at the daycare, or at the kid ministry, children's ministry place. He likes the music. The pastor's nice. But in his gut, he's like, man, the Sabbath thing. Okay, there's an example. That guy, what's he going to do? Well, there's been countless people who've been in that situation. They go to the pastor and they say the Sabbath thing, and they just get a stamped answer where the pastor really doesn't know, but the pastor is just going to reinforce the denominational line there because it's the institution that
we
pastor
see that all the
grew
time.
up in.
Yeah,
the pastor did not grow up in searching out the word of God for himself.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.